All right, that one lets you like turns your ones into twos or some shit. Oh, it lets you re-roll damage dice. So if you roll bad damage dice, you can re-roll some.
Yeah, let's do that one.
We're live,
right.
by the way. We are live.
All right. All right.
I keep it pretty casual in D&D. So.
And you're gonna get 2 new spells that, oh god, you're just gonna have to look at these spells when you get here. Oh boy.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh me, oh my.
Okay, yeah, we gotta huck these characters in so many places. Martina destroyed, annihilated.
Annihilated.
Listen to the sound of the sheet being ripped.
At least let's burn them. That's more dramatic. All the papers
That's true.
floating.
I'm just gonna I gotta organize my freaking maps over here. They're rough. It's rough over here in map.
Rough.
I've just been like opening maps, closing maps. Like, why do I have a token page? Freaking archive. I do not need the campaign guide. I have a brain. Take that, people who use campaign guides. Alright. Technically, I totally use a campaign. I literally read this book. It just has like a thing that wanted me to like, whatever, search its stuff.
Kristen, are you looking at your character?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think just loaded.
So you get to choose 2 new spells from like this massive list of spells. You can get level 2 spells now too.
Beep. And who else do we have?
Now I'm looking at my character. Where's my massive list of spells?
Okay, go. Let me pull up your character.
Fuck.
Check out that massive list of spells.
Cancel. Does this work?
Shit.
What's it called?
Oh my god, it's taking everything forever to load. That's why.
Are you on the character mancer shit?
Yes.
Cool.
Come on.
Yeah,
Maybe if you go on the roof, it will be better.
This shit.
Signal. We would have to do that actually. That's why we had the best internet in our household, because we have our kids' room up there in my country.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And the parents would be angry.
Are you ready?
Sorry.
I can just read you these fucking. I'm sorry, I just interrupted. I blanked for a
How
second.
dare you?
That's just real dick of me.
Freedom of speech? Bullshit.
Oh, by the way, you guys both had levitate for the fight with that one dude. We totally could have just popped levitate. Fucking. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have worked. Maybe it wouldn't have worked.
It'd be like,
dang, man. Don't say that.
Never know. Now I feel worse.
It's a con save, right? I mean, he's got high con. So.
Dang, guys.
I can try next time.
Y'all messed up.
I mean, I don't have levitate. I'm not playing a weak air genasi who freaking dies. Just playing a half elf that dies.
Oh my god.
Really? Really? You won't show me your info? Fuck you.
What's going on?
You tell it, man.
Crap. Okay.
What's up, Kristen? Are you okay?
No, it's figuring my shit out. It's slow. So wait, how many spells do I still need to choose? It's taking forever to load.
2. Do you want me to read you some 6 spells?
Magic missile.
Well, we're on to level 2 spells now. Alright, tell me if any of these sound cool. Agonizer's Scorcher, Alter Self, Blindness or Deafness, Blur, Cloud of Daggers, Crown of Madness, Darkness, Dark Vision, Detect Thought, Dragon's Breath, Dust Devil, Earthbind, Enhance Ability.
Earthbind.
And Earthbind, oh, it takes a flying creature and makes him not fly and makes him be on the ground.
Damn it, that's stupid.
Enhance ability, enlarge or reduce.
Ooh, yeah.
Gust of wind, hold person, Oh, we talked about spells before. I think you said you liked Hold Person.
Yes, but wasn't there one that was like,
Oh, Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
that one, because it goes to more than just people.
Yeah, apply changes.
The other alternative to is that all of them, or how many does she have to pick?
Actually, back. She gets to. You don't want Hold Person. You want the Earthen Grasp, right?
And I'm liking Spider Climb.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you know, if you know exactly what you want, I'll let you totally pick it. But I usually allow, not usually first time too. If you're just like, I just got this list of spells, I don't know what's going on, and we're in the game. I usually just let you pick the one you want for the moment that you need it.
Oh, Shatter! Shatter was also one you.
Ooh, that is a good
You're
one
right.
too.
There was Shatter.
Earthen Grasp and Shatter, right? Boom.
Those are both solid.
I'll do
Solid.
Spider Climb next.
Yeah, every level you get a new speller. All right, boom. Your character's done.
Ba-boom. Oh,
Ba-boom. We're created.
Pull these guys up here.
We're done forever. All right, kill him.
Forever.
No!
All right, kill him.
Kristen, you also
Jesus,
need to
so
change your
gross.
character's name. Rust in part. Not your name. Your name in Roll20.
Oh yeah,
Rest
please to help me. So that's in your gear. If you hit your gear in the very top right hand corner, roll 20. Change your name. In the top display name. That is so good. If you do that for me. Because I'll never remember your names. Very cool.
We finally got rid of Rodario, and she died.
Yes! Pyre is so much easier to say.
It's me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
No matter how weird it is.
Let's see what kind of music we have going on here for this situation. Yeah, kind of through.
All right, I stab Martina in the back.
Oh my god.
Aww.
You are insane.
It's okay. Martina and Rodaro are in hell now.
Are
Everything's
literally in hell? Oh my god. I'm gonna see if I can transmog a song from my other campaign. I have such a better song list. Also, I don't know if you heard, all the songs are going away. It's great.
Wait, what?
Fanburst is closing their doors, so all of my song archives are being shucked on the 25th. So I have to actually find a way to record them.
No.
Get them. Yeah, I know. Hours of time spent.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. But where is my Tomb of Annihilation? There we go. I gotta scroll
Because
all
of the
way
song
down.
options, you get Fanburst is by far the best
Yeah,
one.
I know. It's sick, dude. Cinematic, yes. All my cinematic ones are right here. Cool. We're gonna get happy, sad, tense, sneaky.
Do we have Kristen
divine,
camera?
Evil.
I don't see her yet.
Might have to refresh. Inquisitive.
Oh,
Fresh yourself.
Remember we played this game at the beginning of every... This is the pre-game.
yeah. This is the pregame. The musical chairs of just
The
press and
musical chairs
refresh.
of, let's try to see if we can get all our cameras to turn on. Uh-oh, I see everybody but Tom.
I just hit refresh. I
Okay,
just hit
cool.
refresh.
Cool.
I don't still see Kristen, which is sad.
Okay. You could hit refresh
That's
again
I'm
if
looking
you
good.
want.
I got all
need to.
freshened up for this shit.
Okay, I'm restart.
I'm doing it again.
Me too.
I got
Doing
Tom.
something with all
Oh,
that snow
and
day
I'm
time.
and I'm missing Michaela. Okay, one more
I'll
time.
be
missing,
back.
I'm missing Kristen.
One
She'll show up
day.
later. She'll show up later. It's okay.
All right, is anybody hitting reconnect right now?
I
see
got
no
her. I
one
got
yet.
Kristen. I got Kristen.
Mine's still
Michaela's
loading.
back. You look
Oh,
pleasant,
oh.
Kristen.
Oh, I got
I
y'all.
said-
I got
I'm making a
everybody.
joke,
Yeah.
asshole.
What?
You
Very
look stunning,
nice.
okay?
Pleasant. Kristen, you look like a person. The most just neutral comments. Just
Oh my goodness. You guys. Okay. So, if we are all ready to step back into Waterdeep, let's do so, friends. So, let me get this same little bit up here from last time. We zoom in down on that same scene we left off on last time. A quiet, beautiful morning in the North Ward. We can see that the people of Waterdeep are going about their day in their different fashions, wearing their different clothes, some to mark servants of different tiers, and the city is as alive as it always is. But the North Ward especially has a certain kind of steady calm to it, though there are still people rushing through the streets. There is still peacefulness here where you can even hear the dove coos from the rooftops and enjoy a nice cup of coffee down at one of these delicate little cafes built into the side of some home. And I think that last time we left off on a scene at a cafe, and we were looking, I think, cinematically at a single cup of coffee being sipped by an individual, some dainty elven woman. Who's sipping at her coffee, enjoying her beautiful morning as the sun begins to rise over the vast metropolis of Waterdeep. It is in this moment that our shot looks off and over onto Troll Skull Manor, or rather Troll Skull Adventurers Guildhall. I don't know if you guys have a full name for this place yet, but we get a shot of Troll Skull Manor looking in a hell of a lot better condition than it used to. Your guys' money has gone, working for the different factions, your money has gone quite well towards building this place back up, but there has definitely been some suffering here of late. It can be seen, even though it is all built back up. We see some adventurers probably outside on the deck. This place is still growing, but it's getting there, probably talking with each other. And as we look at the manor itself, we are immediately met with that blast of heat and red light can be seen covering the entire manor proper. And these individuals on the deck are knocked back. We see the windows, fresh, brand new windows, by the way, all blast out and shatter. As a massive explosion takes the other opposite side of the street, right inside of that cafe. Bodies go flying, people scream in the streets. The explosion shakes the very foundations of Troll Skull Alley, and it doesn't take long after that massive blast that racks at the ears of the Adventurers Guild and those of their neighbors around them. It's not short after that blast that after that ringing finally stops, all that can be heard is the cries and moans of the aftermath, which we are in now. So this has just happened. An explosion has gone off across the other side of your street. I'm going to move us over to the Troll Skull Alley map. It has definitely done significant damage to the front of the house, and the windows have all shattered inside. What's going on? What are you guys doing? What's happening?
While I was meditating and this happened, I immediately go outside to see what's going on and maybe try to help anybody in need, like maybe in the house.
Okay, we see Solm immediately step outside. The guild master of the Troll Skull Adventurers League. I don't know what we'll call it, Adventurers Guild. Just springing into instant action, steps out of the door. But we have two other new characters to add to our story. There are many adventurers in this guild hall. You've all been racked. There's no way that you are in this building and this explosion did not affect you unless you have quite the character quirk. But so edgy, did not move, saw it coming. Let's take a moment to I think there's a moment, and I'm gonna step in for you just for a second, Selma, to help introduce them, and I'm gonna put some words in your mouth. I'm imagining you stepping at the door and putting your hand out to the tavern room, which is kind of the common area. Just say, "I've got this handled," and or like you might even. I think what happens here, Selma, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of destiny. You are going to point at two random adventurers who you haven't even really gotten a chance to know yet. You've been so kind of in this other place with the recent events of your life. You just point at two adventurers. You follow me. And who does Solma point at? Where does the finger of destiny lie? Pyre or Keeling, whichever of you wants to speak up first. I would like you to describe your character. Describe what they look like in general. Maybe something unique about them, if you can't think of like the whole setup. And then like what they kind of look like in this moment, how they react to being called upon by the guildmaster. What do you guys do? Or give me your intro.
I think. Oh, Kristen, you can go.
Oh, okay.
Quite the intake of air. So.
I'd like to think I wasn't sitting at entering in the guild room, and so when the explosion happened, my character like jolted forward and fell on a knee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so then when I got pointed at, because like I was the last thing to move, when I got pointed at, I realized who's staring at me, and this is a person that like she saved my family's farm, so I recognize her, and I am just of like, oh my god, she's pointing at me. Yes, and I'm just me. Yeah, I'll help.
Oh, that's so.
Scramble up.
Yeah, you scramble
also,
up.
I look feminine, kind of young-ish, maybe deceivingly youngish. But I'm super like hippie-esque. I've got like my hair braided. There's flowers all over my hair. I've got green skin. My hair's a little darker, of like a greenish brown, and I am just
That's
obviously
so good.
I'm so happy.
You're a Genasi. What type of Genasi are you?
Earth Genasi.
Earth Genasi. You said you have green skin? That's so cool. I love it. All right, and that second finger gets pointed over towards Pyre. Pyre, again, like what do you look like, and like what is the moment like for you?
So he's sitting probably about 6'1". He's sitting cross-legged, or with like one leg crossed over the other at a seat. He's got his drink in his hand and a little confused. He's blah blah blah. So he's wearing black studded leather armor with the silver studs in there because he's that gloomstalker.
That guy.
His skin is very various shades of dark tones underneath.
Okay.
Where I think obviously the attention all goes to his face, where you can see his fiery orange eyes, and his hair is like in the portrait there. His hair is very like yellow at the base, and then almost flows down like lava, and it's about shoulder down. And he has a quizzical look on his face as he puts down his drink and stands up and gives a deep bow, and he says, "At your service, my lady."
Ooh, shit. I'm
gonna have a hard time as Michaela acting normally.
I mean, you can tell he came prepared. He's got a huge, long sword, great sword on his back.
Yeah. The Guildmaster has chosen you guys. She is very well respected in the guild, obviously. I mean, it's hers, and you guys are a part of it. And she has chosen both of you, and you see your moment to shine, to get outside of the small jobs and into the bigger ones with the Guildmaster. So we see the three of you step out onto the long porch. Other members of the Adventurers Guild just sort of looking out, not wanting to get involved. We probably see a couple of dwarves with like some pipes, just kind of like watching some twin dwarves. You guys can give them names later. We probably see a couple other, just like your stereotypical adventurers, just kind of like looking out, not getting involved, seeing as Solma the Guildmaster has stepped out, already chosen her two to be with her. The scene that you guys step out upon is absolute carnage. The building across from you that did hold quite a nice little deli and cafe has been utterly annihilated by a fiery blast. Nothing has caught on fire, though, and that is something to note. The area is just devastated with a blackened soot. You see bodies in the streets. You see, like, there's probably... Just looking around, you can see some people are crawling away from the devastation. It just happened. You can hear their whimpering. They're being helped by others who are just like trying to help them get up. There are some who look as though they are singed on one side who are still standing, but the actual bodies, the actual dead that lie in this pit that is formed across your street are 11. You count at least 11 bodies just on the ground, not moving, completely singed. What do you guys do? You can immediately hear people, call the city watch! Call this! Ring the bells! There's little time to act here before authorities get involved. You are at the very brink, not the brink. You're over the brink. You were just over the edge. You are at the very moment where this has happened, and you have the chance to interact with this if you want to, or you could wait for the authorities. It's up to you. This situation has just gone down. What are you guys doing? Oh, roll initiative for me, actually. Ba-boom.
Okay.
Let's get that. Let's get initiative out. Yeah, your token should be...
Damn hands.
Yeah, should
Get
be
your
over.
initiative.
Boom. Yeah, should still have the same little button that you can press for your initiative.
I gotta find us. I zoomed out too far.
Oh.
There we are. I found us. I got this. I got this. I got this.
You got this.
And bam!
Oh shit,
Oh
dude.
shit!
Oh man. Why do I have... Yeah, Lord Narcissus is staying up in the...
He's sleeping.
He's
might-
asleep at his chair.
He's asleep in his chair. It was like in a situation where we look at him and we see... And he like rocks back and forth a little bit. And then just like...
And you just see you see some of the people being like, "Is he dead?" Like just like looking at him.
Remember how I said you only miss this if you have a very special quirk? Well, Lord Narcissus has one. We'll put him on the invisible layer.
So are there like severely injured? Are there burning people or nothing lit on fire?
Nothing
right?
has lit on fire. There is like maybe bits of cinder here and there, still like holding heat and a little bit red to it. The building isn't on fire. Nothing made of cloth. Nothing seems to be on fire. At the most, there's cinder, but nothing is aflame. Keeling Gorgon, what would you? I'm just gonna call you Keeling. What would you like to do?
I'm going to... So, the bodies that are on the ground are definitely dead. There's no...
These are bodies that are laying down right inside of the blast. They're not moving. They're not moving at all. You're not sure, really. I mean, assumption?
Then my first
Yeah. If you're going to assume, first instinct, like, what... You tell me a blackened, soot-covered body in the middle of this thing. Yeah.
Yep, that's dead. I'm going to then run towards the blast area
Okay.
to see, like, so head into the, like, broken building to see, A, if there's anyone in there, or B, if there's a problem, like, what caused this.
Okay, yeah, you're in there. Make a perception check for me.
Perception.
At the end of the round, people are going to start moving in. Possibly people who have witnesses, because immediately it's that moment of people are moving back, and then they start to come in forward of like, well, now I'm interested. There's dead, but like what? Well, how? Oh my gosh, there's that car crash situation. Okay, a 15. I'm gonna let you hold on to that. And we're going to move to the next person in line. That way I can get what everybody's doing in this instant moment of 6 seconds. Solma, what are you doing?
I would like to maybe try to see maybe what kind of spell it could have been. Like, is this like a planted bomb. Somebody just could have cast it right now and can be somewhere still in the area. Some kind of source of what made this.
Yeah. Do we see Solma just like immediately analyzing the area and just like looking through? And like we see the gears turning. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, and then I'm gonna see what Pyre
Oh
is
god.
about here.
Let me be good. Oh, okay. Ooh, 17?
Nice. I will tell you exactly the results of that after we come back to you. Pyre, what are you doing?
So are there wounded? Or
There are some wounded, for sure. They definitely look like they're hurt. There are definitely living who are wounded. You see a young man who's wearing what looks to be like a weight staff thing. He was probably far away, and he's nursing a big burn on the back of his forearm. And he's just kind of like curled up, holding it, looking at the damage, and he's shell shocked. And he's probably like moving back slowly, but like doesn't understand what's going on. There's a lot of shell shock, a lot of panic. Some people are acting and like pulling people like out and helping. Some are just watching and don't know what to do. Even those who weren't affected are just shocked. But yeah, there's definitely wounded who are crawling away.
Yeah, I think Pyre goes to the random. Totally random, not biased at all towards whoever the most attractive wounded person is there.
Make a perception check for that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, you is it just attractive person? Gender is not a thing.
Gender is not all he wants to look good. So
Okay.
you look good by helping attractive people.
You see
He doesn't have any interest in them. He's just trying to.
Absolutely.
Oh my god!
Absolutely, dude.
Nice floor, Kristen.
Yeah. You you see a woman of wealth, and definitely born of wealth and privilege. She wears very beautiful, noble clothes. You imagine that she may or may not have been a patron here. She seems to have crawled away significantly without too much damage, but you could tell that she definitely has a broken leg, and she's nursing it and does it. You're probably guessing that the damage probably isn't quite that much. She looks like she's got a bit of soot on one side.
As long as she looks injured.
She
That's
looks
all that matters.
injured.
Listen,
for sure.
I have my bond is the common folk must see me as a hero of the people.
She has a fan.
God.
She has a fan, and she's going like this.
I rush to her aid with my healing pack that I just bought.
We see
God.
we see who rushed to the aid, and I just realized.
And I talk when I will talk to her, it will be very loud and very like, oh, yeah.
I just realized that I gave you just a sec. Let me put in a time.
This is so great.
Let me put in a timer.
We
here.
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me right now?
I can't hear you at all.
1 second.
Me neither.
You're not showing up in Discord as speaking.
Hello. Okay. Just give me a second. It will be soon. Reloading. Bum 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 bum. Don't worry. I'm gonna kill the whole party. Hello. How's it going?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had to reload. Sometimes my my sound settings are a little weird. All right, I'm adding a custom label calling timer because there is a certain amount of rounds we will. Oh, I already did add it. I
Time
added
clock.
I added it again.
Okay.
Yeah, timer. It'll go negative. So 10. That is a minute of time before watch shows up. They are like ding ding ding, like they're around the corner at the situation. So we have 10 rounds to work with. I don't know if we'll get through them all. We might get everything we're looking for in that time, but cool. And also, you very well might. This isn't like every 6 seconds. You guys might commit to a thing, and then that's what you've done for the whole thing. Like if Pyre talks to this lady, that's his like round. That's his 1 minute. If he talks for more than a minute, for sure. So yeah, this is just on here to remind us. So yeah, I gave Pyre his thing, and I'm gonna come back around. So yeah, we see you immediately going up stoically to this woman, and she looks at you, notices that you see her, and kind of there's a connection of what you're doing, and she goes, oh. She says immediately as you step forward, like,
he's not stoic. He has just a most concerned look on his face.
Oh, the minute someone's giving her attention, she's just immediately notices that.
My dear, your legs. Is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, my, what a gentleman. And
he like pulls stuff out and starts,
we're gonna get into that conversation in just a moment.
But we don't need to.
No, we do need to. This is something we do need to get into. And I will get back to you because there's a reason. I've plugged something there. Solma, you are trying to figure out what's going on here. Your Arcana check would tell you that this was definitely a magical fireball cast by a wizard, or perhaps you're not sure. That's where fireballs normally come, but this is a magical fireball for sure. You can tell because the flames have not caught on anything. The damage that is done is very impactful, not so much to the individual's clothes, which aren't burned or even like really singed, but they are covered in this blackened soot that definitely tells you it is magic. And that they themselves, like you can see on the outline, like the people like further away do have legitimate burns, but the people inside don't. They are dead. Internal damage is what was done to them. And that is the telltale sign of a magical fireball.
Okay. Can I try to go towards where the blast has probably come from? Like just escape exit or somewhere that this individual or some force did this. Just to maybe see if they're trying to escape right now.
Yeah. Make a, you're like looking around for like somebody moving?
Not moving. I'm trying to go towards maybe where the fireball came to see if there's a door or something.
You can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
Man, if only we had somebody who's good at tracking and investigating things on the team.
18.
I'm going to give you something, and then we're going to move right over to Keeling. You are looking around for like direction where it came from. It seems like the explosion came from one point, and that a lot of the individuals, and you're not getting a lot of these other details, I'm going to leave these to Keeling, are kind of like all blasted out from that one point. It doesn't seem to be coming from anyone in particular, but you do notice something with your 18. Something, since you were looking for like direction, like directional, like where the blast sort of came from, where the people are kind of lined out. You notice one individual, and Keeling's going to notice this person too, but Solma is going to be, I think, the first to interact with it. There is a gnome on the ground. He has in his hand a dagger, and he is straight on to the ground. He has in his hand a dagger. In the other hand is a pouch, and he is straight on the ground, and he is facing in a direction that tells you that he was running toward your guild hall. And he's just face down on the ground. He is further away than anybody. Well, no, he's not. You can tell that he is the center of the blast.
Huh.
Since you were talking about the fireball, that's why you noticed this person. This gnome is the center of the blast. Moving over to Keeling, who should have actually gone before Solma. Apologies, because I had the listing wrong. Keeling,
retcon.
Apologies for pushing you out. You were just investigating this area. You rolled a 15 perception. And I'm gonna give you the lay of the land. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
11 dead for sure. There is one elderly female human who is just dead down on the ground. You see two cloaked male humans. They are clad in leather armor with sheathed long swords. You see 2 female humans and 1 male elf dressed in plain clothes. They look to be in servants' colors, what you can tell from past the soot, but it's almost barely recognizable for the difference of the colors. You see the male gnome that Solma is sort of on top of right now, wearing the burn cloak and clutching a dagger. And you also notice 2 female halflings and 2 male halflings who were dancing. You wouldn't know that at the time. So there is some information here of like what they were doing, depending upon if you are gauging the crowd of like what happened here. So I'll give you that. There is information on what all these individuals were up to during the blast, if you gauge the crowd. But what do you do here, Keeling? That's the situation. You would also notice that the blast originates from that gnome that Solma is currently just sort of investigating right on top of. You do see that there are people beginning to come in. You see a young man, and Solma, you recognize a face that you've seen before, but Keeling, you haven't. You see Fala, the elf, the herbalism elf, the elf who has she is what is the word?
They.
Yeah.
Non-binary,
yeah. The non-binary elf woman who has helped. So sorry. They have helped you. They have helped you before, and you know this individual, and they seem to also have been a witness to the blast, and they are kind of like coming in. Yeah, you see this small boy who seems to just be sort of hovering around the blast, looking undamaged, and Fala as well, kind of just shocked. Seem to have just come down from their garden, which, oh, by the way, her greenhouse, all of the glass is smashed out, and they are down there just sort of looking at the carnage, kind of still shell-shocked. So those people are coming in. Keeling, what do you want to interact with there?
I'm gonna go to the small boy. I'm gonna be like, "Are you okay, kid? What happened?"
He says, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he looks down. He's looking over at the female halflings, and you can see the female halflings had like musical instruments on them, and then 2 male halflings. And he said, Those are my friends. He seems to be clutching something in his hand, and he looks definitely like scared. What do you do?
He's clutching something in his hands, and so that sparks my interest. I'm gonna be like, "What do you have there?"
He looks down. He says, "Oh, I found this." And he holds something up, but we don't get to see it before we move over to since Salma just got to go. Yeah, Pyre. I'm gonna move Salma up just because we're out of Pyre, yeah, you were with this woman. She definitely looks to have like at least twisted her leg. She seems to have been like not quite at the diner yet.
Yeah.
So she hadn't arrived, but she definitely seems a bit worried. She says, "Oh, my dear, what an event! What an event! Did you see anything?"
No, my dear. What happened?
Says, I tell you.
Oh, wow, I'm like fake mending her leg and that shit. I mean, it's not that bad, but like I'm still acting like,
She says, the blast was so bright and so destructive, I did not expect it. I tell you, it was not a man at all. It was more like a puppet shaped like a man, a puppet without strings. It was on the rooftop. It hurled something into the crowd below. That's what caused the explosion. I saw those halflings, those poor little halflings burned alive. I saw them.
When he said on the rooftop, you said. And then he goes and he just starts climbing the fucking building.
Yeah. He says, "Oh my!"
And I throw her a rose. As I go.
Yeah, she catches and says, "Who is this dashing man?"
Oh no.
As I have one hand up on the thing and I'm pulling myself, he's like, "My name is Pyrazil, and I'll get to the bottom of this."
She says, "Oh, the heat has risen indeed."
Oh God.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. You start to make your way up the rooftop. So yeah, we see Pyre Zeal. Make an acrobatics check for sure, or athletics. Acrobatics or athletics to climb.
Roll 20.
I mean,
it's getting hot here.
Oh, that can't do it. That's inspiration.
Okay, yeah, you get
no, it's a 7. We take the 7.
We see you climbing, and you get to a point, but like you get to a point where you're like, I think it's the point where you recognize I'm totally not gonna be able to get to the top of this roof, and you just stop and like do one of these.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like holding on and I'm like looking out.
Yeah, you've gone like maybe not even a story up. You're just like, I'm looking out over.
I said, Solma. On the rooftops. I see him.
You don't see anybody. But yeah.
I know I don't.
The conversation being had can be heard too, so you guys could have heard the one. She was being quite loud. Soma, what would you like to do?
Puppets. Rooftop. Oh God. I will try to.
Yeah, you see this gnome down. He's definitely seems suspicious.
First, we'll check if he's still alive.
Okay, yeah, you check a pulse. There is not one. You see that there are 2 other individuals fairly close to him. It's those humans, leather-bound armor, sheathed swords. The thing that really strikes you is that nobody has their weapons out other than this gnome.
So, I'm wondering...
Those individuals clad in leather armor do look to be pointed in his direction as well in the way that they've fallen.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like they were going to fight. It just seems that he was ready for something. So maybe, Can I look into his pouch?
Yeah, you do, and I think you're immediately struck with. I think it's up to you, but like if it was me, it's a moment of like, oh God. You open it and you see 5 beautiful stone gems.
Okay. I don't know how much actions I can do in this round.
You're looking in there, like maybe one more small thing. Like you're kind of you've essentially chosen to interact with him.
Okay, so I will I'm thinking that maybe I'll take the pouch.
Okay, do you want to take it when there are people watching? Do you want them to not see?
Good question.
I'll loot the bodies.
No. I will not take it if people are watching.
There are definitely witnesses around who could see it. You could try to make a sleight of hand check and
I'm not
snag
good
it.
at that. No, I'm not. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, does the dagger look like it's bloody? Does it look special?
No, it doesn't look special. It looks like it was just drawn. It doesn't look like it's been bloodied.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're not going to choose to do the sleight of hand, you've so far just looked inside the bag. I still feel like, because I haven't given you a roll of anything yet, you haven't done anything quite roll worthy. You've just sort of looked around. Is there something you want to do?
Can I maybe see if these gems are somehow like enchanted, magical?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. Just make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Real quick.
19.
No, but they're valuable. At least 100 gold apiece.
Huh. Okay. I'm deducing something in my mind palace.
Okay,
you are stealing diamonds.
You are deducing. You're deducing. Something that you will notice though as well, that he seems to have had 2 bags in his hand and not one. The other bag is empty.
Huh.
Yeah, it was under the other one and it was much smaller. It is, but it's completely empty. I think you would notice. Actually, I think that bag was inside of it. There's a smaller bag inside of the big bag, and it's been completely emptied.
Okay.
And it has a symbol on it that you recognize. The bag. It's the eye.
What is it?
It's the eye.
Oh, no.
It is on the bag. So moving on to Keeling, what would you were with this boy. That's right. You ask what Yeah, you ask him what's in his hand. He said, the explosion. Right after it, I ducked behind a rain barrel. And then I heard a plop. I found this in the barrel. And he holds out what looks to be a necklace with 2 beads on it.
Let me see it.
And he says, I found it, though. It's mine.
I'll give it back. Maybe it has something to do with your friends. Let me see it.
Make a charisma, intimidation, or persuasion check. Up to what you think you're doing.
First try. Persuasion.
Ooh.
Okay.
I get angry.
He just says, if it'll help my friends, sure. And he gives it to you. He drops the necklace in your hand.
Captain Soma, Miss Soma, Lady Soma, yeah, lady, yeah, you, okay, hi, I found something.
You go over to her with the necklace as you move over. There, the dark smoke from the blast can still be hanging in a dark cloud right above the event, probably about 100 feet now, still rising. And you start to hear the caws of the Griffin Riders far in the distance, but the situation is going to get a lot more interesting as the City Watch approaches. You still have some time, but the seconds are ticking down. Pyre.
Well, I couldn't climb all the way up because
you could try to keep climbing.
It wasn't structurally sound. I think I'm gonna flip my way up. We're doing that acrobatics you originally suggested.
Dude, if you beef it, you the thing about this is this will spell your character for the rest of the game. Let's see it. Okay, nice, yeah.
Hey!
Dude, you flip to the top of that thing. It's easy enough to grab the handholds and get what you need.
Yeah, he plays it off. That he stopped to do something, and I jump up on the top of the roof.
Yeah, you are at the top of the roof. Are you just gonna try to look out?
I am looking for maybe like recently broken shingles on like part of the side of the roof. Maybe if they were like shittily put on and somebody like kicked off, like jumping off the roof. Some kind of looking for tracks.
Make a survival check. Actually, I think that would be definitely up survival.
And my favorite enemies are humans and elves. So I have advantage if they're those. Don't tell me. I'll just roll with advantage, and you tell me.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So 13 without advantage, 17 with it. As I look around, just for any signs of movement, something off.
Let me just see something here. I have to find a number, so give me 1 second.
The number you're looking for is 12, which is lower
it?
than 13.
Is it?
By the way.
Oh my goodness.
Or 13. 13 also works, because I got 13. So
Let's see.
or any number below that. You could go with 11, 10,
So
9
many options.
even, 8. We could even go in the negatives.
So you definitely notice where some of the you definitely see where there are shingles misplaced, but it doesn't seem to lead to any kind of trail. But you can confirm the woman's story, who you never caught her name, by the way. But you can confirm her story. That there was definitely somebody up here, and recently the damage seems very recent. And it definitely, I would say it also seems kind of heavy. Definitely, with your survival check, you could determine that it is not the boot of a human, but something else, something heavier. If it is a human, it's a human that's bigger, for sure.
Does it look like bipedal?
Yes, like two legs.
Okay, yeah.
2 legs. For sure. There's no track.
Which side of it?
This side right here.
Okay.
You imagine, like, at the very least, it must have come from unless it has a crazy jump, it must have at the very least come from here. There are no other, like, tracks to be seen other than this. But unless it can jump back that way. You're not 100% sure. From there,
right.
but you do see evidence of it for sure, Pyre. So we see you up on the roof. We get that cool scene of the sun rising behind you, your flaming hair flapping in the wind as you...
It's totally Assassin's Creed when you perch up on the thing.
Oh, heck yeah.
As you look out.
So what I'm doing next is I'm gonna look around, but I'll do that on my next turn.
Yeah. On your next turn, you just want to look. You got a good vantage point. There's lots to see up here, and I'll give that to you in a moment. That'll be fun. Solma, you've just had Keeling run up. She has this thing in her hand, this necklace with these 2 beads on it.
I know what those
Okay.
are.
I look at her like, what's her name?
Keeling! I'm Keeling!
Where did you find this?
There's a little boy over there. He said that after that he heard a plop into a rain barrel. There.
Okay. I look at the necklace. What is it? Do I sense magic? Anything?
Make a history check.
Okay, history.
I would make you make an identify spell, but this is not an item that is like super unknown.
Okay, so history. Blind. There you are. Can I use inspiration?
You can if you want. You have to re-roll though. You can't take that 20. You have to get a new roll.
Let's see if it helps. 16?
16. Yeah, it is a necklace of fireballs.
Oh my no.
You
got 2 beads.
You will realize in this moment that you are holding in your hand a key piece of evidence, and you have a choice here.
Uh-huh.
You know you can hear, and you can make this choice over the next 7 or so rounds if we go through all of them. The Watch are approaching. You can choose to withhold this or turn it in, and that'll come to you. That choice will come to you when the moment is, unless I'm giving you that option now because I don't know if you immediately go to pocket it.
What would Selma do?
I would say it's with disadvantage to pocket it because you did have someone come up and go, "Look what I found!"
Yes. I will go to the boy and let him point me where the barrel is so I can just like see the area around
he points to a barrel. Right, he explains that the same thing essentially gave to Keeling, that he was with his friends, his halfling friends who are dead on the ground, and he ran over to dance in this area. He just started dancing and got in this zone when the blast came out. He got a little far away from him and then hid behind a barrel that was right here next to the building.
Okay, I look up and probably see Pyre just doing his like whoosh thing. Okay, that's probably my round. Hey.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, taking very dramatic poses.
Excellent.
The best thing is, guys, my charisma is like jack shit. I think I have the worst in the party.
I have 8 minus 1.
Oh, me too.
We will get along.
Keeling, you've just given this over to the guildmaster. She seems to be looking it over, and she gets an immediate look of like an oh shit, like eyes wide, and like what do you do? Are you just waiting on her, or
like I'm too excited and overwhelmed with like I did a good job, so I'm like, what do we do next? What do we do next?
Sorry.
I think that's Keeling essentially giving you something to like do. Like Keeling, yeah, you can use your turn to be like, no, I want someone to push forward. I'm fine with that. What would you do next? She's asking, what would you do next?
I'm trying to think. I am not a leader like me as Michaela. No, this is so hard. Now, okay.
Said it plopped into the rain barrel.
Oh, Pyre is up there, so I will just probably like call on Pyre, like, "Hey, you! Do you see anything?"
All right. To Pyre's turn. Pyre, make that perception check for me.
What do your elf eyes see, or something? And the hot wire.
A 9. There are a couple things that you do notice. You notice that there are a couple of people still wounded from the blast who seem to be definitely moving out and moving towards where the ringing bells of the City Watch are coming from the north. They are sort of making their way there, like hoping for like healers and stuff. You probably see at least 10 or so people. A lot of them are being helped by others. Like each person is accompanied by someone. You see other people running through the streets in different places to like call for help, like send aid, send like or just like something like there was an explosion, something happened, and like there's people moving throughout the streets. The other thing that you could easily notice is that on the horizon you can see the stretched out massive wingspan of an adult red dragon. Roll initiative. No, I was kidding.
Oh God.
An adult griffin, a griffin soaring through the sky with a knight riding upon it. And you know that those are like the special op forces.
Yeah.
Maximilian's earthen grasp is great. Those are like
just fall.
Yeah, those are like the special.
Because I have 2.
They're like probably about 30 seconds away, but they're in the distance and they're closing in on this area quite quickly, and they're definitely noticing you on the roof.
I wave.
All right.
I wave them like in a beckoning call.
Yeah, you wave them in a beckoning call, waving them down towards you. Soma and Keeling, you can both see him doing this. You can probably also at this point spot the rider coming down. Are you guys waiting for the authorities? Do we want to skip right to authorities arrive, or is there anything you want to do?
No.
I want to see, like, hey, Killing, do you know any spell that can maybe identify, like, anything magical that she can do to... I don't know, I can't even speak English. Whew.
I can create a bonfire. Would you like me to create a bonfire?
Calm down, sweetie. Not in this situation. This will not look good, okay? Oh God.
No, I got shit to help us out, like, intelligently.
Okay, I'm going to try to maybe move into the back of the building to see anything else.
Before you can move, you hear the soft
Ooh.
voice of Fala say, "Selma, what happened here?"
Somebody, I think, used this to create the explosion, and they just plopped this in a barrel from the rooftop, and...
Smart.
Where was the barrel?
I like look at him like right here.
Okay.
Says, if you are investigating this, she still seems, or they still seem so shell-shocked. I was watering the plants in the greenhouse on the second floor of my shop when the blast blew out some of my windows. I wasn't injured, very lucky. But through the smoke, I saw someone. A cloaked man. He left the scene, the explosion. He took something from the body of that gnome that you're standing by and was limping away. He's very badly burned, casting glances over his shoulder like he was afraid someone might be following him. My elf eyes could see. He was headed towards the bent nail, and she points down. I'm gonna get it every time. They point down this alleyway here.
The bent nail. Okay, I will.
Yeah, the bent nail. Where your boyfriend's at?
It's gonna be him. He's the bad guy. He's the mastermind.
No, not again.
I will cut him down.
That ship has sailed. We're not meant to be. It's so sad. Okay, but yes, I will go. I will give the necklace to Fala. Be like, okay, when they come here, tell them what we what we saw, what kind of clues we found, and I will just point at Pyre and. I think it's the thing that they used to create the explosion.
Okay, I'll tell them. I'll wait.
Thank you. I will follow where the individual went and tell them that the guildmaster is trying to catch the culprit.
Okay.
And I'll try to head that way, and I call on Keeling and Pyre like, come.
Yes!
We just head out.
All right, yeah, you guys head out towards the bent nail, back around the way to the towards the
Towards that sewer grate right there.
Towards that sewer grate right there. Yeah, towards where Tally, your previous fling. I don't know if you haven't been there in a while. Things kind of went downhill in the last couple of 10 days for you, and life has just gotten in the way of you being able to, I think, spend much time with Tally. Right? We didn't decide whether or not you were able to really. You weren't, I think.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You approach the door. There doesn't seem to be, I mean, unless somebody wants to roll, there doesn't seem to be any like tracks or trails or signs of anybody in any individual. You can approach the door and knock upon it, and it opens, and we see the very handsome, muscular form of Tally, the I believe he was half elf, the half elven woodcarver. Oh, Soma. How did you? Are you here about?
Yeah.
My shop just shook.
Listen, Tally, there was an explosion.
So cute.
I know. There was an explosion. The culprit ran this way. Did you see anything suspicious? Somebody limping?
That's
anything that could help me?
Stop for just one moment. That's a lot
Okay.
of information all at once. There was an explosion and a culprit, and they came this way. I got that much. I have not seen. I'm sorry. The explosion rattled me. I imagine as many. I have not stepped out onto the street yet. And he turns around and looks over, and you can see tons of his like more delicate woodwork has fallen onto the floor and smashed and been destroyed. Like some of the prettier stuff, and then some of the more hardy stuff, like the weapons and things that are more for like function, are lying on the ground. Pyre laughs. He says, "As you can see, my shop is in a bit of disarray. The explosion shook most of my shelves over."
I'm just happy to see you okay. You can always rebuild.
You say they came this way.
Yeah.
He looks around and he says, "I imagine the only way out of the alley would be over there, back towards that street, the main thoroughfare of Trollskull. But I mean, if they came this way, that's the only way I can imagine them going, unless they live around here. But I'm sorry, I cannot help you."
It's all right. And I immediately turn around to see if the, how do you say, sewer pothole, does it look like somebody went in there?
No. That looks sealed.
No. Hey, Killing, do you see
Yes.
anything that I'm not seeing? I can't think straight.
I look around with my special eyes.
All right.
And by special eyes, they're not special. I just look around.
Make a perception check.
My brain.
13 will not be enough. To your frustration, you cannot find anything of note. Pyre, do you do the same?
Yes, I'm hurrying to the street and looking on the way.
Okay, perception?
Oh my god, 5.
Yeah, you guys are unable to find anything. It feels as though you are met with a dead-end trail. It's at this point that you can hear the ringing bells of the watch. They've definitely arrived back at the explosion, and have like you can see the Griffin has landed, seems to be looking around, probably for Pyre, and you can hear Fala's voice echo, because I mean there's a lot of quiet, like, shock still happening. It's only been the first few minutes. You can hear say, "Down here, I have a crucial piece of evidence to what happened here." And yeah, you can immediately start to hear the mobilization happening. You can start to see shields and hear the sound of the metal armor. The watch is starting to warden off the alley itself, and you can even see and hear some come down this way to try and make the area secure so people aren't going or leaving. In fact, sort of closing you guys in at the same time. What would you guys like to do?
Can I keep looking?
You're at a dead end here. There's no information.
Frantically be looking around and then get really frustrated and start stomping, and then every time I stomp, it like there's a little rumble by people who are near me, just because I get so angry. I'm like, where is this? And then you hear like a little.
So what do we see around us here?
What you see around you is, I mean, this place hasn't quite been damaged. There doesn't seem to be, like the fireball obviously didn't get this far. You see a couple of shops, couple of possible warehouses, mostly residents. Like the warehouse is going to be more like a shed, mostly residencies. The bent nail kind of dominates this area as the one piece of like commercial, like it's a shop that's there. All these other places that are around. The only other place that you can see is the smithy that is over here, and you can probably see outside of the smithy the two genasi, one of fire, the other water. The water is built very large, they definitely look like they would be they're definitely muscular, and both male, and then one extremely large and muscular and the other very thin and slender, curvy. And that's the fire one. Excellent. That is what you see around. Nothing else of any major uniqueness.
I will be by the pothole trying to open it while asking the gymnastics, like, "Hey, have you seen anybody?" Like, just like trying to see if this is like loose, while trying to get their attention if they've seen something suspicious.
Yeah, the slender one turns around. No, I haven't seen anything. If I would have saw something, don't you think I would have said anything to anybody? It seems, That's not. They're both male. He seems frustrated, and then you see a hand come down from the larger one of the water genasi. Calm down, AV. Calm down. And it says, I just all of my weapon racks have been messed up, and I want to know who's responsible. And they just seem super mad. It says, you always get so angry. We can fix it. Let's let the authorities handle this. It says, listen, if I find who's responsible, I swear I'll strangle him. It's this sort of back and forth. It says, we didn't see anything. Did someone come down here?
We got information that somebody was limping this way. They might have caused something, carrying something.
Says, my name is Embrick. This is AV. You are the guild master of the Troll Skull Manor, are you not?
Yes, I am. And I shake their hands if they accept it.
Oh, you're from that new place, huh? Well,
yeah.
I heard it's been doing pretty good. So wait, you're an adventurer. So wait, is this adventuring right here and now?
In a way, yeah. It's like an investigation before the actual adventure.
Are you gonna solve this?
I would like to.
Well, if you do, you tell me first who it was who caused all this damage to my shop. It says, AV, relax. She says, oh, Emtrick, I'm just... It's just so... Says, apologies. We don't want to get in your way. But if you need any smithing, I know this is a bad time to kind of drop a card. But
a card?
We did notice that you built that place up without our help, so... In any future endeavors, don't feel free to get a hold of us.
Okay.
Says,
thank you so much.
She says, wait, that guild master? What a bitch! It's just like, AV, get inside, get inside. She didn't hire us for a single piece of metal work!
I just think about Ridaro being like, no, we're not going there. I can smith everything for you, Soma.
And she did.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it seems as though there are that this area seems to be a dead end. The place is getting warded off. You have a couple choices before you, just so I don't frustrate you guys as players of going, where's the stuff? Where's the stuff? Where's the stuff? There's nothing else here.
Okay.
Not with where current rolls are. I mean, I could let you sit here all day and roll a million times.
I'm running down the street. I'm going into a sprint.
Where to?
I'm running out this way.
Yeah, you're immediately met by a line of probably about a dozen city guards who are stopping, sort of blocking this place. And as you are in full sprint running, they go,
I'll stop to go talk to the guard.
Okay, you go right toward them. Okay, you're not passing them. And yeah, you step up. What do you do, and what are the rest of you doing as Pyre runs this way?
I think I will go into my meditation pose and just try to channel Estes' fate, like, okay, a feeling like, are we on the right path, or are we going to a dead end? Like, just a feeling like I just want to know if they use the hole to escape or not. That's like just my initial
I mean, I'll let you make a religion check.
Okay.
What about Keeling? What are you doing? Pyre's run off. Solma's gone, sort of meditative.
I can't concentrate.
Looks like he's onto something. Heaven help me, if he impresses Solma more than me, I'm running after him.
Okay, so Keeling's right behind you. So I imagine this is a fun situation where you both roll up. You're about to explain, so like I don't know what was the thing you were gonna do, Pyre? Because Keeling's about to show up and try to do it better than you.
I'm asking for a description. If they've seen a description of like a cloaked figure who was like
limping,
unnatural gait, limping.
Yeah. Keeling, how do you run up at the same time? What do you what do you say at the same time? He's talking to the guards. He's on to something. Are you just on him? Are you letting him talk, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm on him because I need to figure out what he knows so I can find out the dude faster.
Okay, yeah, you have this
I do make it awkward because I like run and then I stumble into the frame like breathing heavily and I'm like,
yeah, you have this Earth Genasi right
next
right next to you, and you see the guard just say, "Oh, we don't have a lot of information right now. It's going to be collected. A city guard will be here soon with some investigators from the Order of Magistrates. So you should probably go back to your homes and wait to be questioned. If you know any information, and it seems like you might, then..."
That's what I know. That's who we're looking for.
He writes it down and says, "Oh, okay, I'll write it down. Keep it here, but you should give the same information back at the scene of the crime. We've got investigators coming in about 20 minutes, but in the meantime, you should return to your home. And if you..."
I'm just going to check on a friend right now. And I go to walk by. I'm going to try and sneak past the guards.
You want to try to sneak past the guards? Yeah, make
I'm walking this way, and then like...
you first give me... This is a couple checks, because I need you to make it sound... First, he's
feasible. If it looks feasible.
If it looks feasible, getting... you'd have to get on the roof. You know, one thing
how that's gonna go.
One thing that's not gonna go well for you here. There's a Griffin Rider circling the area. You think that getting out of here is going to make you a target.
I know, though. If there wasn't the Griffin Rider, I'd go for it.
You could. That's the one thing I'm thinking of, because I was like, I'm about to give you this roll. I'm like, ooh, that Griffin Rider gets like a big-ass perception check on you for getting out of there. It's a big risk. But it's up to how risky Pyre feels. Does he want to be a major suspect in this case, or does he want to stay clean?
Well, the common folk must see me as a hero as the people. So I'll do it.
All right, yeah, go ahead and...
This is a bad decision. I should get inspiration, but we're not playing with that.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm not throwing it. That's not the shade. Oh, I didn't click it. Fuck.
All right, 14. Let me see what the Griffin Knight Rider gets here.
You start glowing, shining with your flames, being like a beacon.
God, I haven't rolled above a 10 since that first roll.
At least you charmed a person.
I looked cool, and then I couldn't climb up.
Oh man.
Let's get rid of this character real quick. Let's move on to the next one.
The next one needs to roll all
good. Let me get my character arrested, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'll have him roll his check for the area. Okay. So as we see Pyre make his way like around or try to like dive through a building, our scene will close on him. We'll come back to you in a moment. It's not good. So I'm going to tell you it's not great, Pyre. We'll come back to you in a moment, but you're gonna be... You are just trying to move past this blockade, try to get out of this situation because you feel like you are definitely onto something. And yes, the people must see you as a hero, and this is your chance to
also, respect is due to me because of my position. But Absolutely. All people, regardless of station, deserve to be treated with dignity. It's just, you need to respect me because I'm fucking noble.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. So Solma, so Keelan, you see Pyre go off there. Are you following him as well?
Oh my god. Okay, so
Kristen, come and die with me again. Let the streets run red with our blood.
Oh god, not again.
Fire, do you like go off like you know what you're doing, or do you like how do you
He's
look?
gotta know what he's. He gotta think he knows what he's doing.
He definitely
Get out
is
of here,
like,
man.
dude. I'd call you along too. I'd be like, this way.
Okay, we're gonna come back to you too. Solma, you lose sight of your proteges.
Guys, I haven't been able to do a single thing in this whole campaign except for pit fight. I can pit fight with the best of them.
Definitely. I'm glad you asked the risk level though and did it anyway. Now we know it's more of a character thing that was done rather than like just a shitty thing that happened.
I'm trying to stick to my personality traits, bonds, and flaws.
It sticks.
It's fun.
No fear though. No fear. I love you guys.
No fear.
Solma, you've lost sight of them. The area's getting cordoned off. You can hear there are some city guard going through the streets. Back to your homes, everybody. We're trying to figure out the situation. The watch will be here in 20 minutes. Back to your homes, please.
Okay. After my attempt fail of meditating and trying to figure out some sense about this, I get up and I try to maybe just walk around to see anything else, maybe towards where they headed, just to see if they maybe found something, some of the guild members that I haven't seen
you
before.
completely lost them. You're back out in this sort of main thoroughfare, and and the guards probably over here just be like, ma'am, it would be best for you if you were to return back to your homes. You may be questioned shortly. We are having inquisitors come from the magistrate.
Okay. I have been at the scene of the crime, and me and my I'm the guild master. I introduced myself to them, and then I'm looking for one of my two guild members, like if they hadn't seen them anywhere.
If you have any information,
we're on the track of something big.
If you have any information, then you want to bring it back towards the scene of the crime, and possibly wait in your homes for they're the guild of Magisters and Protectors is what they're called. The Guild of the Magisters and Protectors, when their investigators get here, at which point he's interrupted by some other guards coming from the other way. There are 12 guards blocking the way, but there are more that come down. Oi, Sergeant, we got some runners! He says, oh, champ, six of you, go, find them. They could be suspects, track them down. And he just says, ma'am, it would be best if you get into your home.
I ain't going back to jail.
I just assumed that they're with me, and I'm just wondering, give me a second. Oh god. Let's see, what would Silva do?
I mean, you don't want to break the law.
I don't break the law. I am,
Then I guess you're gonna miss out on the fight.
No, I will not.
There's not gonna be a fight.
There's not gonna be a fight.
There's not gonna be a fight.
There's no fight.
I'll just tell them.
Slaughter.
I just told them, if they're one of my guild members, just bring them back to me and I'll talk to them.
Says all suspects are being collected according to the law and brought back here. So if they are your guild members and if they are possibly guilty, that'll be completely up to the magisters. So you need to please get back to your home.
Okay.
All right.
I will wait somewhere where they'll bring potential suspects or people so I can go and
you
maybe
imagine the
defend
scene of the crime is going to be your best bet. You can definitely see there's plenty of guards over there, but Solma, you don't make it the whole way there without being slightly distracted by a certain someone. We're gonna change the music for sure here. I'm gonna miss these tracks if I lose them. All right, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Let me just find the right music. Here we go. Let me just make sure this is the right music.
Martini.
Nope, no, not that.
I like that.
Isn't it Floon?
It's not.
Is
It's
he
not.
just
It's not
there?
fun music. It's not.
Is it the water dragon? Not the water dragon.
This is the music I want. I want this horn, man. So, you see a part of the side of the Troll Skull of your manor, Troll Skull Manor, your guild hall. There's an individual that catches your eye. He has a trench coat, and the hood is popped all the way up. He has a hat that seems to be pushed a ways down.
It's a detective. Oh, God.
And
okay.
he has a pipe that he's smoking in his hand. And you see the grizzled, handsome, perfectly cut jaw of this guy. As you step back, he just goes, huh. Funny thing. An explosion in the streets. Out of nowhere, really. Quiet town. No fire. And he says, Puppet man, where are your strings?
Sorry.
And yeah, he you see the puff of smoke come out, and he's like all down. He looks up and he just says,
I've been out edgelorded.
He says,
no.
Solma, I take it. Guildmaster of the Troll Skull Adventuring Guild Hall. Or League. You haven't decided on a name yet. 2 of your friends died 2 weeks ago. Pretty gruesome. Both had funerals. Rough. I've lost a person here and there. A lot of people in this town. But I got over it. I'm harder for it than I used to be.
Oh, baby, tell me how hard you are.
And he says,
I can't.
it seems as though you have a mystery on your hands.
Oh, there's the overpowered NPC to solve it.
And he flips his finger and holds out a card with, you see a single cat's eye on it. He hands it to you. He says, if ever you're in need of my services, and I'm quite expensive, you can call upon me if you wish.
He means in bed.
And he says, but let me give you a quick freebie.
Oh.
And as he'll turn away and start walking, and then do like a side glance. He says, every puppet has strings. And he says, these strings, well, they might lead somewhere, anywhere really, but if I were to start anywhere, I'd start where the Engine Lord rests.
Engine Lord.
Oh, Temple of Gond. And he starts to, and he just says, excuse me, I had a sandwich. It was really dry. And he starts to walk away.
Uh-huh. Soma slightly like, whoa.
I got no strings to hold me down.
Oh my god.
he just starts walking away into the rising sun.
Never see him again. The whole campaign. He's gone.
I will.
It did tell me. I'm gonna expose right now. It told me just so Tom doesn't give me shit. Book told me to have this guy show up. So.
No, I know. I believe it.
I'm so happy right now. You have no.
The guy I thought was a gnome, right?
Yeah. This is definitely seemed human to you, Solma.
Human? Okay.
The standard detective.
On top of each other.
This guy looked like the standard like noir detective.
I love detectives. Okay. So I just like, whew, okay. I will put the card for later, and I will try to still go to the scene of the crime to see if I will see my companions. So maybe then we can like compare notes, have a plan.
Yep. We're waiting for you there.
It does not take long, Solma, maybe 10 minutes, and you do see, you hear quite, I don't think it's the commotion, especially with the way Pyre says that he handles himself. If people respect him, he respects them back, and I'm imagining, Pyre, you know full well the law, that you were caught, that the situation was, well, I'm not going to try to get out of Waterdeep, like with that, or I'm not going to, try to get out of this. It's best just to go with the flow, and like you are a noble and you know the law, you know how it would have ended anyway. Like, if it would have been a fight, you'd have just come and you'd have been bruised up, and it wouldn't have been great. So we do see Keeling and Pyre kind of pulled in as suspects, along with a couple others who don't seem to be being handled quite as... You're not even being handled that roughly. You're just being handled as, like, runners. The first runners sort of caught. Everyone else around the area has just been a witness to the crimes. Got a couple of suspects here. They were running. Could have easily been the culprits, but we'll leave that to the magisters to decide.
Yes, of course. The fireball goes off. It must be the fire genasi. Of
Says,
course.
we are just being safe,
yes.
sir.
Oh yes,
You did run from the area.
Yes, running.
They were inspecting underneath my command. Sorry, officer.
It's her fault, honestly. She did it.
This investigation is being taken over currently by the City Watch, and then in the next couple of minutes, the City Guard and the Order of Magisters and Protectors. We do not need others running around. This situation has to be taken control. We run these streets, and you understand that full well. Is that correct, Guildmaster?
Of course.
Good.
Do a better job of it.
What did you say?
I will look at you side-eye like, shh.
Says, they will be investigated, and if they are fully innocent and just under your orders of investigating this current situation, which does make sense to me, adventurers are adventurers, then they will be freed. Says, well, you follow the laws of Waterdeep.
I follow
as
the
everyone
laws,
else.
but I do not act under her. I did what I did under my own command.
Well, and you can explain that to the Magisters when they arrive. Says, I imagine if you are not guilty, it will be cleared up quite quick. So there should be no worries. We're just trying to cover all our bases. Alright? So...
Thanks, officer.
Only doing my duty. Excellent. Let me see...
You're right. I am the fire genasi. You're the spicy one. Who knew?
Oh!
He was just rude and he wouldn't listen.
No, I agree with you, Keaton.
We haven't even introduced each other. I will try to, like, hey, what's her name? To Pyre.
Oh, I grab with both hands. And shake. Wow, that's it. I am Pyre Zeal. I'm new in town.
I can see that. And I'll just wait for them to be released. After this is done, we're going to meet up in our headquarters, and we're going to talk.
Alright.
Our headquarters?
I'm going to be honest with you. I found out nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, because the stupid officers wouldn't let us.
All
We
the
tried.
officers.
We tried really hard.
She knew exactly where to go here, but
Really?
they stopped her. Stopped her. In fact, I think they might be involved in this whole debacle.
You think?
Why else would they stop you from solving the case?
Don't they understand what is at stake here?
So, about 20 minutes of this happens before, at last, the city guard arrives. And as the city guard arrives, they sort of take over fully for the watch. And you see that they are escorting two individuals who seem to be one individual at least seems to be escorted by a higher up member of the watch. Actually, I'm mixing up the watch and the guard. The guard is lesser, the watch is greater. So, or wait.
Okay.
No, the watch is lesser and the guard is greater. Yeah, I can't quite remember. In any case, an individual with them seems to be like a member of the guard, yeah. So you see these two individuals sort of escorted in the investigators, and you see this sort of stout, portly fellow who looks to wear a very intelligible sort of face, and then you see this very much taller individual who seems to be kind of a straight to business gruff type, and as they enter into the scene, I think we could probably shift the music probably to that music that we maybe had before. You were like, I like this. Is this the fluid music? I was like, no, not quite. Let's just do... Is this good? Alright, yeah, this is perfect. So yeah, these individuals come up, and the guard is completely taken over. They seem to be just sort of looking around the area, and they've completely cordoned off the zone in front of your adventuring guild, kind of blocking it off. And you see this this guy come up. Well, it seems to be quite a proper crime committed today, don't you think, Mr. Cromley? Oh, yeah, no, Mr. Blastwind, absolutely, this seems to be a crime. Crime of the highest order. Look at these bodies. Says, yes, a very, very serious crime. And I'm going to turn this music up. It's a little too goofy, I just realized. How goofy it is. We'll turn Inquisitive back on. But that's about all the words you hear out of Barnabas Blastwind, as the larger individual Cromley says, "Well, I'll start interrogating people. Mr. Blastwind, you do your thing." He says, "Yeah, of course, I will." And he immediately starts to survey the area and look around. And every once in a while, he just sort of pulls down his glasses, up and down, up and down. And he's moving around, and we see this guy over here, Mr. Seth, make his way around, just asking questions. And then he's getting some of the same information that you guys got. And he finally comes to you, and he sees, "Well, see, we have 2 suspects here. All right, why'd you do it?"
Is that all you got? Really?
And he says,
"Why'd you do it?"
She's sorry, a little bit of investigator humor.
Listen, we were doing adventurer things, and the adventurer things took us to adventurer places that we shouldn't have gone, and they took us back here. Yeah.
And you have nothing to do with this.
I was sitting inside the fine, what is it called? The Dungeons and Flagons establishment. No. What? Because I'm a fire genasi. I caused the fireball. Is that it?
I'm not doing any racial stigma or nothing, but I'm just saying I mean that you said it, not me.
Oh.
They were in the building when the explosion happened. We immediately went to see what happened
And you are?
I am the guildmaster, Soma. And now we'll shake his hand if he allows it.
This is your guild?
Yes.
This is, well, good to meet you. And what did you see?
Well, I just heard the explosion, and when I went out, big hole, people screaming, crying, and me and my 2 companions, we went inside to see if we can find any survivors, any clues. And one boy found something. Maybe if you talk to Fala, she has a necklace that might have caused the explosion. Yes.
Don't worry, we have this. And we are investigating. It's a part in this little story. Looks up, he says, I've been told not to even talk to that one. He points at Yuki. Says, you vouch for these 2. You sure that they weren't involved? I've been told that they were running from the scene of the crime.
I'm vouching for them. They were trying to see if we can find the individual that was seen leaving the crime scene.
This is a lot of dead people. We definitely want to be thorough. Perhaps we take him in for a couple of Sundays and we... He starts going, and you hear behind him, "That will not be necessary, Mr. Cromley. Those individuals did not commit this crime. Unshackle them, please." And he says,
"Wait, we were shackled? Fuck that shit."
He says, yeah, you just had your basic shackles. I mean, they're going to do that. It's 11 people are dead. And he says, "Wait a minute, you can tell all that just by the 2 minutes you've been sitting there." And a couple of minutes you've been sitting there. And he's just like, "They are not, they are not the ones we are looking for. Release them, do not bother them." And he says, "But I would like to speak to you." And he points at you, Solomon. "You're the owner of this building?"
Yes.
"Do you know this individual?" He points down at the gnome.
I had never met him before. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, he doesn't touch any of the bodies, leaves everything where it is. "Are you absolutely sure?"
Have I ever seen this No, like just thinking
No.
like in memories.
He
Okay.
asks the same
No, I haven't
question
ever seen him.
to Pyre and Keeling. Do you know this individual?
Sadly, not.
Interesting. He kind of looks around at all the people and then kind of like pushes up his glasses. I would like to speak with you and members of your guild perhaps later in the evening, if that is suitable to you. Maybe as soon as this afternoon, if you are available.
I think we can. Yes.
He says, excellent. I believe that would be in the best interests of the investigation. He says, Cromley, continue. And he goes back to just searching the area. He says, all right, seems to have been cleared by Mr. Blastwind, but just know, I don't really trust you, but I'm going to listen to Mr. Blastwind for now. I do still feel a tingling in the back of my stomach that you're somehow not letting on everything that you know. Anyway, this is unshackle them. And yeah, they remove the shackles. He says, definitely stay inside of your home until all this sort of blows over. We'll let you know when you can leave again after we've thoroughly investigated Troll Skull Alley.
Alright.
Best be staying on your best behaviour. No running anywhere unless you find yourself in shackles again. At which point I very well may be able to convince Mr. Blastwind to put you in the camps for at least a 10-day. Maybe down that attitude of yours a little bit. Looking right at you, Keeling, not Pyre.
Of course, Mr. Officer. Of course.
But he looks at you.
Pyre looks at the guard and says, "Sir, your position, your authority you have here. I can't feel like you get a little jollies down under by waving it in front of people like you."
Your lordship, I'm only doing my job. It's what your taxes pay
Oh,
for.
just doing my job. Yes, of course, sir. Be on your way. We're done here.
Indeed we are. And
hey, Keeling's the common folk, right? I'm trying to make Keeling think I'm a hero of the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
absolutely. Yeah, they don't seem to. Cromley doesn't seem too apologetic about tracking you down. He seems very much like, she's my job, I'm a cop. But yeah, they continue to investigate the area. Do we want to skip to when Mr. Barnabas Blastwind comes to your door, or is there any conversation you want to have, Solma, with your compatriots? Because you got a clue from one Mr. Detective.
I am thinking how to get there, or trust to maybe send somebody to get him to our headquarters. I don't know what a different word I can use. Base of operation.
Yeah.
Yes. So maybe I would send somebody works in there, like, hey, can you call Mr. I don't know what's his name to us?
Yeah. You try to get a hold of the detective, of which point, you probably have to really go through your memory to remember his name, especially because the Dungeon Master doesn't remember it either and is looking through his notes. So let's see really quick who he...
Because we never really went there. We just left it for, later.
No. Let me see. This is Vincent Trench.
Okay, Vincent
Trench is his name. When you try to contact him, if you try to send anybody there who does try to get there through the day and sort of move along and try not to get caught, and obviously, or they're not, I mean, they're trying not to look suspicious to be caught in the first place. Knocking on his door is only met with his doorman, a man in a full, you guys haven't knocked on this door before, but you are met by a gnome in a suit. He says, "Oh, yeah, Mr. Trench is not currently in. His hours have been postponed until further notice. I can inform you when he will be back," and that's the information that you get, and you're kind of left with a card of an IOU.
Okay. We just probably try to talk what we see and trying to see, because I saw the eye, so I'm really thinking that the Zenithar might have something to do with this.
Possibly.
And I'm wondering if I now should share this Pyre and Keeling, but I just met them and they don't know what.
I mean, you interviewed them to be in your well, I don't know that you interviewed them, but someone you trust interviewed them to be in your Adventurers Guild at the very least. Someone Radaro trusted.
Okay. If Radaro trusted them, then we're...
Or Radaro was the one interviewing.
You don't want to trust who Radaro picked.
Radaro's probably like, can you swing a sword? Sweet, get in here.
Sweet, get in here. Alright, we just need bodies. We just need numbers. Anybody.
I see, okay.
Okay. That cough, permanent? Nope, temporary? Alright, get in here.
Do you want to have a discussion with the rest of your players? Do we want to... You let me know if we want to have a discussion first, or we can skip right to the...
Pyre is trying to play cards with Keeling. Trying to, like, deal out and play some stupid card game.
I'll be part of that. It's so exciting! City life is nice.
Poor girl. Okay. I'm just watching them probably play and just thinking about all the information that happened and just to see all the connections and just holding the card and just like flickering in my hand like, like what to do next.
What are Pyre and Keeling doing while they wait?
Pyre is half trying to explain this overly complicated card game that doesn't make any sense.
Oh my goodness.
And then other half trying to make small talk with Keeling. Oh, Keeling, what are you doing here? What brings you to such an establishment?
I want to be an adventurer, just like Soma. Oh, wait, so I place this card then?
No. Flip it upside down first and put it in defense mode.
You forgot all of the markers. You need your defense, your HP.
Here. Oh no, you got your whole board next up. Let me. And he's just like,
your kingdom is a wreck.
Solitaire. Like every card is like out. There's no decks. It's just no. Now on the fourth turn, you pick from the third row, fourth column. So that's the card you then.
Roll intelligence.
Row, fourth column, then that. And the thing with her, she's like a really nice person, but then she has this like temper that'll flare up. So like when she gets frustrated, she gets super pissed, and then she'll stomp, and then like it'll cause a mini tremor. Nothing that anything like hurt anybody, but enough that like the silverware shake, and it's kind of irritating.
Yeah, like one of the cards like rumbles off the table, and I'm like, Keeling. Oh there. Okay.
Right. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, Keeling. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I start also lifting. Yes. We Genasi's, it's nice to see somebody similar like me. Yeah.
They're all Genasi's.
Yeah, we are.
So?
I grew up only with humans, okay? So it's nice to see somebody similar.
My whole family lives in the...
No, keep going. Where does your family live?
My whole family lives just outside on a farm. Like, there's a lot of us. So if you want to see a bunch of Earth Genasi's, we're, like, making potatoes.
Oh, sorry, that's Michaela. Okay.
That's very interesting, Keeling.
I would like that.
Wow.
No, it's not. Potatoes were interesting before. I like this city.
Just be careful, okay?
Pyre just takes a deep sip.
Excellent. And I think we see a fade into Barnabas and...
Oh, you're gone.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
I'm trying to read lips still.
My mic keeps going out. I gotta update these drivers. I think they're messing up. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. I'm gonna come back. They're gonna hear me. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
Oh, there you are.
There you are. Voice to the art. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, I'm hitting refresh and waiting for my Discord to refresh. So, Yeah, we skip forward to see Barnabas and so our scene begins to fade out of this conversation between the three of you, which I think is some building happening here, and we move into these investigators entering into your home. There's a knock, a rattle at your door. Kunk, kunk, kunk. It's just about to get evening. It's just after dinner time. There are a couple of adventurers still sitting, chilling in here. Some of them have their own homes, but there's probably like 5 or 6 like hanging out in the tavern. They all just sort of look towards the door and then look at you, Soma.
I will use my powers to swing it open.
Huh? What?
Come on in. Welcome.
Hi. And he steps in and he says, "A magic user. Hopefully registered with the Magister's Guild." What? And he steps in and he says, "Oh, who opened the door?" And you see Cromley sit behind it. "Oh, Cromley, it's magic." He says, "Oh, all right. Fine. And he says, "Are we invited in?" He says, "I imagine
Yes.
so." He says, "Hello." And he
Hello.
comes, he steps in. There's no guards with them or anything. It's just Cromley and Blastwind. And he says, "I do not know if I properly introduced myself to you. My name is Barnabas Blastwind." He says, "I would very much like to have a discussion with those who were possibly here during the explosion, or possibly just residents of this home. You know that most of the people who are here are actual residents, or are actually sleeping. Like, probably all of them. Everybody else has gone home for the evening to their actual house. They'll come to the guild hall when they're looking for work."
Yeah.
It says, "And just note that everything you say will be written down and taken back to the Lord's Alliance to be looked over, and your word will be your bond." He says,
Fair.
That's going to be a lot of writing. Keeling here likes to talk.
She says, "Don't worry, I have a very fast hand." He says, "My companion, Mr. Cromley, is he's very astute with his writing, shorthand."
Very good.
And he says, "All right." And he starts to he's like, "If I may begin," and he sort of takes his coat off, hangs it on there, and he has under his he's got like a plain shirt, and you see it's probably purple like his, it's not a plain shirt, it's like purple like that, like the one, like the robes he's wearing. It has the same like magical intricate designs, but he's got suspenders, and he kind of puts his bag and all of his stuff. Cromley doesn't take a single thing off. He just waits for Blastwind to get comfortable, and then he turns around and says, "Cromley, are you not going? You do serve drink here, don't you?"
Yes, we do.
It's
Have a seat.
Kind of a he says, "Oh, keep my arm on, thank you, Mr. Blast." Of course, I will not stop you." And he says, the god type. And he'll start going around interrogating. The main question on his lips for everyone is, "So," and he gives a full description of this gnome down here. "I believe very strongly that this gnome holds the key to answers on the massacre of Trollskull Alley, and I'm very curious to know what connection he had to this place. As you heard before, and I didn't quite mean to say out loud, he seemed to have been heading to this establishment. If anybody has any kind of information on who this gnome might be, and maybe more so, people who could be involved with the Zentarum, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
It is a mercenary group, one of ill repute, but you will not be, I promise, exposed. This is a completely off-the-books situation for that part." He kind of like nudges Cromley's Zentarum scum. Says, "If anyone here is connected with this gnome or the Zentarum, or in the past in any way, I do bid you please step forward and explain."
Well, the Zentarum, the last time it was what, okay, so the Zentarum, just for I had my, are also the ones that were connected to the thing that attacked us in the alley with Martina and Ridaro. Okay.
Oh, those are
That's
the Xanathar.
The Xanathar.
The Zentarum are their rivals.
So the Zentarum, what symbol do they have?
They have a what looks to be a dagger with wings.
So I didn't see that at all. We were not in contact pretty much with the Xantarum.
The most contact that you've had with the Zentarum is you know that Raynar Neverember was snatched away by them, but they were when you busted into their hideout, they were already killed by the Xanathar. You've had most of your interaction with the Xanathar, not the Zentarum.
Yes. So I will probably just be like previously that we just met them like there when we were saved. I will say the information because it's good to know that we were able to save the guy and everything, just for our reputation. Yeah.
Yes, I did do some research. You are that Solma, the one who saved Lord Raynar Neverember from the Xanathar Guild, which was Chroma's. That Solma put his hand out and says, "Thank you for doing the city such a good service. Didn't know you were
as
that
well as
Solma."
Thank you. But I also was helped by my sister and Rodaro that were, they're
No
dead.
reason to
Sorry.
bring up painful memories. I understand fully the report on that situation, and we have no need to go into it. It is not. I do not believe it is, unless you have some information I don't, connected to this.
I believe not.
He says, make an insight check, any of you.
Okay.
I'm
Everybody?
so good at this.
Insight.
Why not?
See insight.
Hey.
I can't see my insight. Give me a second.
You're good.
It's under insight.
Okay.
Yeah, all of you can tell that Blastwood is trying his best to only give you so much information. He's asking more questions from you than giving you information. He seems to definitely have an air about him that he has super analyzed this scene, and he probably has a lot of information about what's going on. He just doesn't seem currently interested or trusting of you guys to share it. He's just trying to get more information. He's trying to suck more out of you guys as sponges, but you can tell that his sponge is quite full.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'd say at one point then. What's his name again? Blastwood?
Barnabas Blastwood.
Mr. Blastwood.
Yes.
I'm here on behalf of one Lord Neverember here in town. My friend.
You are a friend
He's-
of
he's-
Neverember as well, Raynar.
Raynar, yes. His father not so much, but
No, I imagine most people in Waterdeep are not friends with the ex-Open Lord.
yes, my former employer, you could say. But Raynar, he
As
tells
was I.
me of the old, the Xanathar and the Zentarum. They're quite going at it these days.
Yes.
Do you think this was another gang hit?
I have not ruled out that possibility, but I believe that this was, in one way or another, an isolated event according to the past of what has happened with the Guild Wars, or no, not the Guild Wars, the gang wars. I don't know if we have not made that conclusion yet. It is one more hypothesis to add to many. And go ahead and make a charisma persuasion check.
We're not good at
You guys could give him advantage if you guys have something to contribute.
I thought Kristen was playing a talkie character, so I didn't play one. Turns out she's just a talk-a-lot character.
I'm just a
All
talk a
right,
lot.
does anybody want to help me out here? I'm gonna go in solo.
I don't know if I'm a help. I can help.
This is a
Can't
check
take
to
an
try to gain his trust. And like what you're saying, what you're saying right now sounds like you care about the state of the city.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like,
I would say I just want us to be okay, and we just care for the well-being of everybody, and many lives were lost today. And if we can prevent it, we will love to help in any way.
Go ahead and make it with advantage.
-1.
I was so ready to not give this to you because there's a lot of walls in this this campaign. He'll say, Mr. Cromley, if you could empty the room other than these three. Just, Yes, Mr. Blyshman. And you guys are the ones being, like, mostly he's, like, narrowed it down to you. He's like, if the rest of you could please find your way to your rooms, Mr. Blyshman, or perhaps give us a private room. At which point the rest just go, no, I don't want any part of this. They start going upstairs. Like, they leave the tavern to go up the stairs, up to the next level. When they open the door, you can see there is a host of at least a dozen guards outside, veterans, like, right outside your establishment.
Fun.
Yeah, man, never take any chances with adventurers. He'll, Blastwind's just...
I would hate to be a cop
Blastwind's...
with adventurers around.
Blastwind's got the chair turned around, like, fully, and he's, like, sitting in it backwards, and he just says, He says, you seem like individuals who care about the state of the city. Perhaps I can share a little bit more with you of my understanding. I was told that you were... He says, best keep calm. Keep calm. He says, in these hard times, we must keep calm. And he says, the City Watch informed me that you two, I imagine the three of you together, were already beginning to investigate the situation. I also have eyewitnesses that you were at the scene of the crime, investigating it upon the recent destruction. You were the first on the scene. I imagine you've learned some information already, and I also can guarantee you it's nothing I haven't already learned myself. Not to tote anything around. I'm not trying to. Yes. And he'll say, but some of the information that I do have, I wonder if it will perhaps spark anything else in your minds. Something else to lead me further. You see, I am at a dead end, and I do so hate dead ends. The gnome on the ground that I am so interested in was running from armed pursuers, of which there were 3. The third person who was chasing the gnome is or was not among the dead. There was an individual spotted limping away. We are unable to find out exactly where this person has gone. Imagine it will take some further investigating to understand in full. Things are slow with the Lord's Alliance, but we get things done where we can, and the Order does its best to help them. It says the gnome and his pursuers were most indeed definitely heading towards this alley, and neither the gnome nor his pursuers saw the blast coming. There is note of a man, a puppet man, on the roof, who had apparently thrown something down. We believe now it to be a bead from this necklace of fireballs, but we do not know how these two are connected, as among the dead were both the pursuers in question were members of the Zentarum. At least the 2 on the ground had the tattoo in concealed places. That means something among the Zentarum. If the tattoo is not concealed, these are individuals who should never see the light of day. They are ones who work in shadow. Yet here they were. Very highly skilled and trained assassins sent after one little gnome with a bag of this. And he throws a bag under the table, and you see 4, 5 beautiful gems spill out, and a tiny little bag with an eye on it. This is the symbol of the Xanathar. I do not know how this ties in exactly. This gnome, I'm trying to understand who he is, but I am running out of clues. As far as our reports tell us, this is not a known member of the Xanathar Guild. He does not bear any tattoos or symbols or any of the iconography that we would expect from a member of that kind of guild.
So you think he took this from the Xanathar, then?
We believe that this individual very well could have stolen something from the Xanathar. But we're not sure. Ooh, we got a follower on Mixer, just saying. Welcome, friend.
Welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
He'll say, if there is
So-
any information that you have, anything at all, that you have learned, that I have not exposed to you here, I beg of you to come forward.
All I know other than what we've already told you. I'm sorry.
Soma, you have something, but you have a choice. Barnabas has not put together this puppet man with a Temple of God. He has not thought of this thing as an automaton. You have a clue that was given to you by Trench that Blastwind doesn't have, and this is a choice that you can have right now. Do you want to expose this, or do you trust you and your adventurers more than these guys to get the task done? You have the next piece. Barnabas does not. I will tell you now as a player, if you give it over to them, then they are going to do it, not you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to
We're on
you.
lockdown.
It's up to you. I would like you to make a religion check right now as this thought enters your head.
Okay.
A 6. You can't. You don't get anything from your goddess or anything in this moment, but you are at the very least reminded of some of her ideology. And remind me of her ideology for me, real quick. Remind our audience.
Is to leave, to see what fate brings us, that everything that happens is for a reason.
Fate is here. It's in your corner. And these people mean well, but you don't know if that information is meant for them. It's up to you.
I will.
The story will advance either way.
Okay. I think for now, I would like to keep the information for myself.
Alright. Make a deception check with advantage.
Okay. Where are you, buddy? -1. Haha. Nah.
12.
Barnabas definitely looks you over, and he asks one more time, are all of you absolutely sure nothing is jogging your memory? He'll do one more, and you could say no, and he'll just...
Okay, so
The
I know
jigsaw.
that he had a weird walk. Okay, he walked funny.
I know that he had a limp. I know that he had a limp. The gnome, he looks over at you, Solma, and he just says, well, I guess we will have to wait. Time will reveal. I do and would like to thank you very much for allowing me to interrogate you.
Yeah.
I imagine that you will do well in the information I have given you now, not to allow it to get out of your own hands. We do not need all of this being traced back to the wars.
It will be with us. We will not share any information. Right, Pyre and Keeling?
Oh, yeah, no, never.
Calm
Never.
is
What?
Good. Calm is what keeps our city alive. It is good that we keep the people calm and let this information come out at a more natural pace, dictated by us. He says, well, I believe that is all. Do expect to hear from me again soon, though. I may feel inclined to keep you updated. Something gives me a feeling you may know something else that you're just not all quite sure. There was a reason that gnome came to this place. I will find out what it is. And he said, in the meantime, do keep in Waterdeep. It is in your best interest not to leave the city during the investigation.
Of course.
He says, excellent. I'm glad we could be civil about this. Well, I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you again. Cromley seems like he's written like one sentence, just like through the whole situation. He's just, believe that's it. Mr. Blashwin, I think we're ready to head out. He says, yes, Crumley, indeed. If you could get my coat for me. And he says, of course. And it zaps away and into his hand, and he smiles. He says, oh, go to hide it when you do that. He says, you know I don't need you to grab my coat. Starts to make, they both make their way out and he, the last thing, Blastwind tips his glasses down, and he says, do stay safe. And he puts it back up, and he leaves.
You as well. Stay safe.
Goodbye. Thank you for such a pleasant interrogation.
Oops. And he moves back in as the Dungeon Master forgot a paragraph. He says, I did forget to say. It's just, seems as though I just keep coming back. I would highly suggest that if you have any further interest in investigating the situation, to deter yourselves from doing so. You should leave this matter up to the watch. That way you do not endanger yourselves. To go along with what I said about being safe, best to stay out of the business of the surface, as most God would say. Keep the blood below the streets. And he steps away, and he leaves. And you wonder for a minute if he's going to come back in.
Yeah, we like wait.
And he pops back in and just say, I did forget my tea. And he goes in, and then he leaves. Oh, I love it.
And we can't hear you.
We can hear you!
Rose.
I don't know why that keeps happening.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Killed the inspector. All right. Nice.
He pops back in one more time. I forgot my tea. And then he goes. And then he goes. And then he's
We were
gone.
trying to kill him before you got back.
Yeah. So you are left. You have been fully investigated. You have kept your one piece of information. The Temple of Skilled Hands. The Temple of Gone seems to be the piece that did not click for Barnabas Blastwind, that clicked for Mr. Trench. That this creature, this puppet,
catch on?
automaton. Solma would have to tell you.
Solma's a liar. That Solma's lying. That she knows something else.
Did you want to?
I'm not gonna do anything different. Just for kicks.
Do you have a question, Keely?
Yes.
Yeah,
First, Keely.
I'm a little confused as to, I mean, I'm not a city person myself, but it's kind of weird when it's like, keep the blood below the streets. Like, is that a phrase?
Solma, you've been told this before.
That's a metaphor, I believe.
A metaphor.
To not bring trouble to the common folk, pretty much. Just keep it below.
He was telling us
hidden.
to go into sewers or something. I was like, that's weird.
It's both a metaphor and actually the truth.
Yeah. Lots of people die in the sewer.
It's true.
Don't break
You will be next, Keeling.
I would like to call you both somewhere private. You can come to my room, and I want to talk to you for a bit before we go to sleep.
Yeah, sort of thing.
Okay. So we went to the tower, which is made for herself, meditating, books, everything. You can see Moosh on one of the books, just sleeping, just being sweet.
Meow. He's got wings.
And yes. So I just assumed that someone like sit down, she'll invite them, and she's like, I would rather do this on my own, not to endanger more people, but it's good to work in numbers, and I think you have potential. And you just have to promise not to share the information that I'm going to share you beyond these walls.
Of course.
Of course.
Okay. So I will tell them what I found and share the information, and then tell them the plan.
Yeah.
That early in the morning, that I'm thinking as a player if we're gonna try to go to see the detective one more time, or go first to the church actually. So I'm just thinking
not to not waste your player's time. He's out of there, man.
He's out of there. Okay.
You're not gonna find him. You'll constantly get he's currently on a investigation and he's very busy, and you're gonna get that at the door.
Okay, so she will tell them like first thing in the morning they're gonna go to the temple of Ghoul.
Gond, the House of Inspired Hands. Gond, the Engine Lord, the God of Invention.
Okay, have I ever been to this church?
The Temple of Gond is less a church and more a place of community. It is a open workshop available to anyone who wishes to practice worship of Gond, and worship of Gond is done in simply creating things. Think of it more as a massive community college.
Okay, I can create things. We're gonna be good. Okay, so I'll ask them like, have you there any information that I should know about the place? I'm still new to the city.
What? I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
Pyre, you seem like you're from here. Can you please tell me more about this place?
I'm from Neverwinter. I'm not
Neverwinter.
Newtown. Gone. Not quite. I'm not the quite up and running on the guards. I'd have to. Well, you caught me offhand here, and I don't. Anyway, yes, I think we should go there in the morning. I'm sure they will tell us much about what they do there. And not, yes. Very good. Anyway, is there anything else we need to talk about? All right.
Solma's definitely, you explained that the puppet on the roof, you believe it to be, like what Trench believed it to be, something that would have, an automaton, something that would have belonged to the House of Inspired Hands. You relay all that information to them. Solma.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So
makes enough sense. Should we see what they have there?
Yeah.
Go from there. I don't know.
This is gonna be quite an adventure.
Indeed. So we will open up with our last scene of the session on the House of Inspired Hands. We will see the party, and I'm going to send us over to Map of Waterdeep just so we know exactly where that is
Kitty.
at. Wow, I have a kitty over here too. That's Moose.
Yes.
Let's get the... What ward is the House of Inspired Hands in?
You're so loud.
Sick. The House of Inspired Hands sits at the corner of Sea-Watch Street and Shark Street in the C ward.
C ward.
C ward. I don't know.
I see C ward.
It's over. It is over.
Oh.
Wait. Where is the House of Inspired Hands? Let me see. Is it not marked House of Wonder?
What are those? What's the streets again?
It's supposed to be right on the corner of Sea-Watch Street and Shark Street. I just not seeing a thing in my invisible.
I see Shark Street.
It might not be marked. Yeah, it's not.
There's God with.
You're good. It doesn't need to be marked. We know that we're in the C ward, so let's give some.
Right here.
Right there. Oh yeah, it's right there. Thank you. Let me actually. It is in the thing. The House of Inspired Hands. I was just missing it by like a mile. All right.
Because there's like a lot of things right there.
There's a lot of words. So,
a lot of words around it.
That is the House of Inspired Hands. Let's do Waterdeep Day. Definitely. Waterdeep Music Day.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The House of Inspired Hands looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a toothed cog with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently around the building. You see the silhouette of a human shape perching upon the rooftop. It extends an arm, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops in the air, and then it begins to veer straight down towards you. All of you make a quick perception check.
Perception. 17.
Nice.
Oh, 20/20 vision.
Shit.
You see what looks like a puppet man on that roof. He releases the bird and ducks inside. The bird does a loop and zooms right down towards you guys aggressively. And that is where we're going to pick up next time with initiative.
Ooh, we're gonna be fighting a little bird. I love it.
You seem to step in at the most inopportune time for this puppet man.
So wait, how big is this bird?
The bird? It's the size of a bird, like a regular bird.
Okay.
But it's diving towards you, and you can definitely see it shines metallic and like
It's gonna blow up.
like a dagger.
I'm gonna take my quarterstaff and play baseball.
Yeah.
Blow up.
This is how you know this. Yeah, exactly. You guys explode.
Fire resistance.
This is how you know that piece of information was pretty damn good. Boom! Already on the trail. Already on the trail.
This is so fun.
Yeah, we are in. We have started what I'd like to call the chase. From here on, it's just gonna be thing after thing after thing, guys. So let you know that's what it's going to be like. The chase has begun. Be prepared for dead ends, but be prepared for me not to leave you at dead ends to die. Okay?
Okay.
That's the one thing to be prepared for. Dead ends are super frustrating, but when they happen, be assured that depending on rolls, like even if it goes, like literally that was a part of the adventure that told me if they fail so hard they can't find anything or track anything, like all your guys' rolls weren't high enough to keep to be able to find any more information about the roof, about everything. It was just like I only gave you the one step. You weren't able to track the limping guy. It literally has stuff in there. It's like if they have nothing, give them Trench for a minute. And I'm like, okay, they get Trench, which honestly I think Trench is better in my opinion.
Oh heck yes.
Just because you get to have him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the welfare. The welfare guy. Like
he's the welfare guy.
You're not doing too well.
You're not doing too well. Here you
go.
Hint. The adventure always has to move forward somehow, right? But the I'm so glad you rolled well with Barnabas, because it would have been, I don't trust you. Apologies. Best you stay out of this matter. I think I've gotten what information I can. Goodbye. And then would have been like, God damn it! So you know now one piece of information he had that you didn't. They were Zentarum chasing after this guy, and now like that very much connects for you. Like what Pyre essentially brought up in assumption, does this have anything to do with the gang wars? And he's like, we're not confirming that yet, but that definitely says get like Xanthar symbol, Zentarum.
Yeah, there's definitely, they both want something.
Mm-hmm.
The Xanathar had it. Dude stole it from the Xanathar.
Yeah.
Dude stole it from the Xanathar. And the Zentarum killed the dude who stole it to get it. So it's just a mad dash, and it's gonna exchange hands like 10 times. It's the fucking anal bead. I don't know.
It'll be fun, guys. We'll figure it out what it'll be. Both Tom and Kristen, amazing job putting your characters into the adventure. Pyre knowing Rainier, amazing. Keeling with the Soma is the one to inspire you to adventure. She saved your farm. Both are great ways to plug your guys' characters. It's gonna be fucking rad. What's gonna be so jarring and probably fucking amazing is when we get Lord Narcissus back in here. Like, wait, what happened to the other two people? Who were these?
My sister died.
I don't know if I'll be able to make it back, really, because depends on how long it goes. They might be out for the rest of like the school term.
Well, I mean, when he jumps back in, he'll jump back in, and we'll be good. And
he'll come with the final clue. I have it in my hands.
There it is. As long as hopefully we have Josh next time. Definitely all of you project that Josh is welcome. Project. He's welcome. You're welcome, Josh. You're welcome. Come, Josh.
My boy.
If you're watching it, we want you in the game. I'm pushing for it the hardest. Very, very cool. All right, thank you to those who watched. Super appreciate it. Whether you're in the chat or whether you're watching this later, super appreciate you stopping by. If you were lurking too, super appreciate it. When you are going to see me again, I am not streaming on Thursdays unless I super feel like it. I've knocked that off my docket because I want to chill out and hang out and watch movies with my wife. You can't blame me, okay?
Nice.
And Friday you'll see me. I'll either be playing Paladins or Apex Legends, and the Apex may crash, and when it does, it'll be Paladins time.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that's what I'll
Hit
be
me up if you're playing Apex, though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, bro. We should play. We should totally play. Excellent. All right, friends, wherever you are in the world, morning, noon, or night, make it a good one. Thank